Hello and welcome back to our Transfer Talks podcast. My name is Leilei and I am a Transfer Jack's peer mentor. Joining us today is a very special guest who would like to share their transfer experience with us.
Hi, I'm Nicholas Clement. I'm a senior here at NAU. I had transferred from a small town called Thatcher. The community college was known as Eastern Arizona College.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Very nice. Well, it's nice to be here and meet you. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so to start off, let's go with some lighthearted questions right now. So, what do you like about campus / the NAU environment?
So something I do like about it is the extent that the NAU is, with how far it stretches all between the two streets that it is. The climate of being cold but not too cold, which is a kind of nice change from everything else I've done.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from, generally, you actually do find some good fellow-hearted people that are similar-minded within your classes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sounds like a great experience so far. And when you talked about climate, I'm a desert rat. I'm from another part of Arizona where it doesn't snow, where it's just desert all around. So that's why I came here, because the weather is just the complete opposite. And like you said, it's not too cold. It's kind of like in the sweet middle, though I know it's a little bit questionable with all the snow days we've been getting.
No, right?
It's been a little bit polar. Just a
It has.
little bit.
About what, 3 feet we've gotten?
Yeah, we are setting records this year.
I've heard about that, yeah.
Yeah, this is more snow than I wanted to see.
But it happens. I mean, it's pretty much what I saw on the East Coast. So.
Yeah, and I never thought I would miss the desert this much. I went to Phoenix over the weekend and I'm like, everyone's wearing shorts, regular shirts. No one's wearing a jacket or a scarf. I'm like, wow, literally just a couple hours away, and it's a whole change.
Oh yeah, we go through like 3, 4, 5 different like ecosystems as we go from here to Phoenix. It's just insane.
It really is. Here, moving on to with the this or that. So union or HLC?
Probably the union.
How come?
Just from the time there's more options here.
Mm-hmm. Options as in
just things to eat, as well as being able to just find a nice little quiet spot to hide.
Yeah. And I think it also depends on, like, what do you mean union or HLC? Like, what, like, is it to eat? Is it to study? It's a very broad question.
It's just which building do you prefer, really?
Yeah. Honestly, I think I prefer HLC because of, like, the view, and I feel like it's a study space, but that's how I interpreted the question, But like I said, more options. I mean, food is the way to go for union. I'll tell you that. How about I come to union first and then I go to HLC?
See, that totally works,
right? Yeah. Why didn't they include that in the question? Or both. So how about North or South Campus?
Oh, I'm a North Campus guy. All my classes are up here, and I just prefer being up here with all the sandstone buildings.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot closer to my apartment than having to go down to South Campus.
Yeah. Do you often go to South or barely?
There's instances where I do have to go to South Campus just because of the Welcome Center that's down there.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I go to church on Sundays, as well as I have a religious class there on Wednesday nights.
Mm-hmm.
So I make the trek once, 2, 3 times every week.
Yeah. But it's just more convenient on the north side with where everything is. Honestly, same here. I am barely in South. The only time I will go to South is like for work, but I have like no shifts down there anymore. So like I don't even know what's going on down there right now, like at all. But it does have you been to Qdoba by any chance?
I don't think I have.
Honestly, highly recommend. 10 out of 10. It is kind of like a Chipotle. I don't know if you've been to Chipotle.
Oh yeah, I've been. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's like, I don't even often go to Chipotle, but I go to Qdoba a lot.
It's because it's just right here.
It's right there. I mean, like, all the way in South. So, like, when I had shifts over there, it was so convenient. But now that I'm always in North, why should I go all the way to South for
It's like, right, why do I need to make the trek?
I mean, if I'm really craving that, then that's understandable, right? But it's like, not every single day, Yeah. So, just one more of the this or that, just to kind of play around a bit. NAU Gold or NAU Blue?
I'm a fan of blue.
Blue. How come?
Just because I've always liked the color blue better than yellow.
Oh, well, that offends me very much because my favorite color is yellow.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're totally fine.
I'm gonna guess your favorite flower are sunflowers too.
Honestly, it's not my number one. It's my number two, though.
Okay.
I actually, ironically, I have sunflowers in my room right now. So you caught me there. You caught me there. But yeah, so I mean, I would go for NAU gold, but because I like yellow more than blue,
Okay.
you know. But so agree to disagree on that, right?
Yeah. But you know what? Either way, they're both NAU.
Exactly. So hey, we're a team. At the end of the day, we're a team.
Right.
We're a team. So kind of going on into the more serious, in-depth, questions. So, what was your experience like at your previous school?
So at Eastern Arizona College, or EAC, the classrooms are pretty small.
Okay.
The whole class, like your classmates, they're also pretty small in number. For example, I had classes where the most I had was 8 people.
Wow.
So it was very intricate, detailed. The teachers could work with us one-on-one. And it was a very fun experience. I recommend if you're needing to start somewhere, it's a good place.
Yeah. Do you prefer that kind of like smaller class setting, more intimate connections?
I'm on the fence about it, but I'm leaning towards I do, just because it helps me with being able to understand the material better.
Yeah.
It's great for building fundamentals or even just finding close connections. That way you actually have this drive to actually want to go to class and whatnot, instead of just being one of 50.
Yeah. So now, I mean, I'm thinking it's a little bit bigger here at NAU.
Oh, yeah,
How was
definitely.
your transfer experience? How was your experience transferring here to NAU?
From being to a small classroom to these lecture halls, it's definitely a culture shock in a way.
Yeah.
Just because it's like the vast number of people that change, and sometimes the teachers don't really remember your name, but they do try here, which is a nice effort.
Yeah. So do you have like a preference now, having to experience both sides of the spectrum per se?
My preferred thing is kind of like in the middle. Not too large, but not too small, that everyone knows what your business is.
Would you consider NAU's lecture halls exceptionally large?
No, not at all. Because they're about only like 50 to 60. But at the most extreme, here at NAU, that's probably 70. Other places, that jumps up to like 200. And
yeah,
just
like
forget about
right?
any connection there. Just get your stuff done and get out.
Yeah. Would you say that the kind of the size of the school and like their classrooms is kind of like a big reason why you decided to transfer over here?
I wouldn't say it was my main reason. My main reason is actually my current major, which is geology with an emphasis in paleontology.
Oh, nice.
EAC didn't have that. So I needed to head somewhere that did, and here I am, just because I had gotten a scholarship to anywhere in state.
Yeah, we love that. Honestly, take the opportunity wherever you go.
Right.
For real. So, if you mind me asking, what made you want to choose the geology route?
To choose a geology route, that was the main, path towards paleontology. And I'd taken some, a geology class at NAU just to preface myself up. But since paleontology is kind of both a hybrid of bio and geo, since I already covered the biology route at EAC, it was time to fall in and go into the rocks.
So do you see kind of like a connection with the two as you're taking classes here?
Oh,
yet?
definitely.
For sure.
Most of them, the biology and fundamental geo classes, they do cover a bunch of the same stuff, like natural selection, Charles Darwin,
law
of superposition. There's a lot of things the sciences have in common.
So, what is it? Are you kind of like, how do you feel like being in your classes? Because I know oftentimes as people are going through the journey of the degree that they're seeking, it's kind of like, is this for me kind of thing? How certain do you feel about the route that you're going down at the moment?
I feel pretty certain about it.
Oh, we love that. Nice. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. I know some people tend to I don't know, but honestly, the questionable feeling of whether this is the route that you want to go down is fine. And then also the certain feeling is also honestly just as fine. And do you feel like, are you happy to have chosen NAU with the experience that you've had so far here? Oh,
definitely. Just being able to metaphorically grow my own wings.
Yeah.
That's kind of one of the reasons why I picked it, because it was so far away from people I know and their spheres of influences that I could start making my own.
Yeah, you can start new,
Pretty much, yeah.
So did you come here not really knowing anyone?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, that's very common for transfer students. So in like your experience of being here, how did you get yourself involved to kind of like maybe seek connections with people?
Well, it started with just because of going to church on Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to build like social network there at the
Yeah.
Welcome Center, which is nice. It's able to help you branch out to other people as well. But then also just being able to have that ability within your classrooms as well. Just say hi to someone you're next to and just chat them up, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And additionally, the emails/events that the transfer office holds was really nice, honestly.
Oh, so have you been to a couple?
I have, and I've also been paying attention to all the emails and stuff.
Oh, nice.
So you stay in the loop and you make plans to going out to certain activities that are being hosted, and there you go.
So which events, and not even just exclusively transfer, it can include your church events if they hold any as well. But what would you say is like one of your favorite social events that you experienced here at NAU?
One of my favorites?
Yes.
I would probably have to say the winter Olympics that we hosted down at the Welcome Center.
Oh.
So essentially we basically mimicked some events that would happen at the Olympics, like skiing, tobogganing.
And which program was holding this?
This was the Welcome Center, the LVSSA.
Oh, okay. Nice. And so like how did it go? That actually sounds like a lot of fun.
It was, and it was pretty fun. I was the one that was basically like directing everything.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the main things I remember doing about it is I was basically like the torch runner. So I carried in the torch celebrating. It's like, let's go, guys!
Oh, yeah. So what's like something that you really appreciate about that event, about it being held for students?
What I really appreciate about it is not only were the students in charge of it,
mm-hmm.
we were the ones setting up the activities and making sure everyone else was invited and involved.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty fun team building experiences. So if you weren't sure about who people were, you got to know them by the end of the night.
Yeah. And that's what I really like about events in general. And like, speaking of that, like, you know, how you really were talking about how the transfer program holds their own events. We really want to just like create another space where it's not just about academics all the time, you know, like right. A lot of transfer students come in to focus strictly on academics because it's like we're in a phase already where mm-hmm. It's like, let's just do this, right? I'm going down the route. I know what I want to do kind of thing, but it's hard to like prioritize and make the time for events as well. It goes along for a lot of transfer students, maybe not just for you and everything.
Oh, no, I was about to say that. That's how it was like my first 2 semesters.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I need to sit down. I need to get my bearings first mm-hmm. before I can go out and enjoy and be social. But that caused a bit of a burnout.
Yeah.
And so being able to attend events, being able to interact with people, changing from not just being so study focused.
Yeah.
It allows you to balance that out and not get yourself burned out.
Mm-hmm. And like, kind of going more into like you as a transfer student alone, like how do you feel being a transfer student compared to maybe the more traditional kind of students?
To be honest, I feel a little more superior in a way.
Oh.
Just because I have all my generals done.
Uh-huh.
And I can actually focus on my bulk classes
mm-hmm.
without having to take extra credits.
Mm-hmm.
That will eventually also try to burn me out.
Mm-hmm.
Or things I don't really care about, like humanities.
Yeah.
And so having that ability to just focus solely on my bulk, while the traditional is more struggling with everything else they have to do, like the generals, their humanity classes, and balance that with their bulk as well. You're going to say, I've been there. I know what you're going through.
Mm-hmm.
See ya.
I like that. Just moving on, right? Because there tends to be like a stigma towards like non-traditional students, and our transfer program holds a lot of that. And although we're only a very small community here at NAU, it's still like we have a lot of students that feel like they don't belong oftentimes. But I love like your refreshing point of view of just like, yeah, you know, like I'm a transfer student. What about it?
So
you know,
what?
I absolutely love that. So like, what do you feel like you've gained aside from maybe getting ahead as being a transfer student? Like, what other things have you gained from it?
Something I do appreciate being a transfer student is part of the perspective that we gain. Just because we've already have some degree of workmanship of being able to get that AA first, we're able to say, okay, during that time I was able to figure out my time management. And during getting that bachelor now, that rest of 2 years as we transferred over, I personally found that those skills carry over. Having that personal management. Of course, I've procrastinated a bit this year because it's senior year and all that.
Snow days didn't help either, right?
Oh yeah, snow days definitely don't help. But being able to get back on that ball is a lot easier.
Okay. I really like how you look at that side of it. So would you say you're probably at your highest of being a student at this point, like compared to like maybe your first 2 years or high school or middle school? Like, how do you feel as a student at the moment?
As a student at the moment, I feel tired.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I feel tired, but I can see the finish line.
You can see the finish line, right? It's just right there.
It's just right over the edge.
I know.
It's just up that hill. I just got to run it up.
Honestly, I am crawling to the finish line right now, but you know what? I'm still doing it. I'm doing it. I'm taking sips of water here and there, and I'm like, okay, let's go.
I'd probably say the highlight of like my student career so far was my last one of EA, where I was just getting ready to transfer over, getting everything in order. But I was also part of an undergraduate research program. And by that small group, we were able to just get out there and do a lot. I've seen like field work, which actually helped me prep for being geology a bit. Because geology it's all field work.
Yeah. How was your, what is it? Didn't you have a capstone field trip or something?
I did.
Yeah, you did. How was that?
That was 2 weeks ago, and it's a mixed bag of emotions.
I see. I hope, was the weather part of the issue?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yes, it was. We went down to southeastern Arizona.
Okay.
To like the Mica Recon Mountains. And on Tuesday, Wednesday, I kid you not, it tried killing us.
Oh, no.
High winds, probably 30 to 40 miles an hour. On Wednesday, it had bursts of showers on us. So downpour rain, that turned to snow.
Oh my god.
So we were being hit with all this shivering, all this cold air, all this snow, all this wetness. We were basically on the edge of hypothermia.
Oh my, so were you guys not as prepared as you could have been?
Oh, some of us, no, we weren't. Because we were all prepared for like 50s, 60s, down to 30s. The winter, the rain and the snowstorm that came on us, that was nowhere in the forecast when we left. And so we're all like, crap.
Yeah, that was definitely, you said it was 2 weeks ago. That was during our consecutive cancellations of Thursday classes. It was just
Thursday,
like
Wednesday, it's like, excuse me?
Yeah, Wednesday. Oh my gosh.
We came down here to get away from this. And it followed us down there, and
it did.
Desperate times really were they on Wednesday. I mean, we were doing the penguin technique of survival, of like huddling up, but throwing someone in the middle to keep them warm. It was, oh my gosh, we were hiding in those vans.
Yeah, I bet. I'm surprised that you guys did you guys end up leaving earlier?
No.
Or you just stayed the whole time?
We just stick it through Wednesday, and we were rewarded with some pretty good days on Thursday, Friday. And I'm talking about like 70s, 60s, clear as day, blue skies.
Isn't that weird? This weather can just get so bipolar.
Welcome to Arizona.
Right? Welcome to Flagstaff, because mine is just straight up desert and heat. That's the most you get. And then over here, sunshine and rainbows, and then it's like a snowstorm in the next couple of hours. And
then comes the next day, you get poured on by rain.
Exactly. I got to pack my umbrella, my winter coat, everything, just in case whenever the weather feels like changing it up a bit, right?
Yep. Arizona she's a special snowflake. But you can't help but love her.
Exactly. It's a love-hate relationship.
It is. Especially those sunsets. They are so beautiful.
Exactly. We find the good and the bad, right? It balances out. It
does.
Yeah. But so kind of like moving on, what do you wish people, what do you wish people understood about the transfer experience?
What I wish that people could understand more is, it's a bit of work at a community college or someplace before, but it's totally worth it. And being able to call a transfer student does give you some certain merits underneath your belt.
Yeah.
Just because you open yourself to more activities, more like opportunities that you'd have at both places.
So what's something that, to like your other fellow transfer students, what's something that you would recommend or suggest them to do? Say like our first transfer students that come here, what's something that you'd have them do being here at NAU?
Certainly I'd recommend is they do like the transfer organization, I guess, here at EAC. they do set you, not EAC, why did I say that?
NAU.
NAU, yes.
I know, I was like, wait.
I'm playing multiple gears at once.
You're good.
One thing is, get together with your peer mentor. Because they do assign you on, and mine specifically helped me out a bunch.
Glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. So definitely meet with your peer mentor. Is there anything else that you would like to add? And it doesn't even have to be like the TransferJex program related. It can be anything that you tried that was successful for you.
Something that, as a transfer student, that made my time easier is getting involved with organizations that you knew back at home. For example, or back at your previous college. For example, the LVSSA, they have that at EAC too. And so because of that, I was able to find like a grip of familiarity, which helped me a lot. So having that familiar connections help a lot.
It helps with that sense of belonging because this is a brand new place. And we have like over 400 or just about 400 clubs offered here. We have so many. We have a lightsaber club.
I saw them practicing one day when I was just walking the campus one day. It's like,
it's a big club, huh? I almost want to just join for fun because I think they offer you lightsabers. I don't know.
They do.
I don't know, but like we have so many clubs and there's so many opportunities. So would you say like you just have to make the effort to actually?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because it doesn't always come to you, you know?
Right, and use your resources. There's the True Blue, but there's also Discord servers that pop up. There is opportunities. You just have to keep your ears open in class as well as just. This may sound a little bad, but eavesdrop a bit.
There's some good and bad of that, right? There's some good be more aware of what's going on campus. That's what you're going for, right?
That's what I'm going for.
Nice. So very good. Coming from another transfer student, words of wisdom. Very nice. So that's pretty much all that we have for you today. So I really want to thank you, Nicholas, for joining us and sharing your transfer experience with us. Is there anything else that you would like to add before, we finish up?
Let's see, nothing really comes off the top of my mind.
Okay.
But I hope everyone has a good day, and I hope this podcast helps someone in some regard.
I'm sure it will.